Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC Katie Ginella gives shocking update on bio mom. RHOC newcomer Katie Ginella is sharing a shocking update on her biological mother. She talked about how she was planning on heading to South Korea and finally meeting her. Her mom was just a teen when she had her and put her up for adoption. So, did that ever come to fruition? Keep reading for more details. Katie Ginella gives shocking update on bio mom. Season 18 of RHOC has brought a lot of madness. From Shannon Beador's DUI and lawsuit to Alexis Bellino and Johnny J to Tamra Judge's outbursts and Emily Simpson's rage over clothes, it's a Bravo roller coaster. Season 18 also introduced viewers to Katie Ginella and her family. She has a sweet daughter, Kaylee, and a husband, Matt, who seems to only want the best for his wife. He also let Jennifer Pedrante's boyfriend, Ryan Boyajian, talk about his job and simply smiled and nodded. Katie has become a fan favorite as she is both smart, quirky, and sarcastic. She does not let the drama of the other housewives get to her much, and she goes with the flow. Yet, she also has a fascinating backstory. She was adopted from South Korea and had found her birth mother. There was not much she wanted from her mother other than to sit down and talk with her. During the Thursday, October 10th episode of RHOC, the ladies all headed to London for Shannon's 60th birthday. At the ill-fated dinner where Shannon stormed off, Katie revealed she was going to South Korea to meet her mother. Heather DeBrout was fascinated by this, saying Katie Ginella's story was interesting, but she was not. So, did it all pan out post-filming? According to Monsters and Critics, it did not, but not for a lack of trying. Katie explained timing keeps getting in her way of meeting her mother. Turning 40, but still open. Katie Ginella turned 40 this year, so that has been a monumental moment. She did want to enter that new era having met her biological mother, but that did not happen. Still, she and her family have not given up on the trip and have intentions to make it to South Korea. Her daughter, Kaylee, speaks Korean, and that blows Katie out of the water. She will likely give an update when the RHOC reunion airs, but whether or not she will return for another season is yet to be seen. The reality TV landscape is no stranger to drama, raw emotions, and surprising revelations. And The Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, continues to be a prime source for all of these. Fans have witnessed a multitude of intense moments, from feuding housewives to deeply personal family issues. One of the most recent and unexpected updates came from Katie Ginella, a rising star on RHOC, who shocked fans by revealing a long-hidden truth about her biological mother. For years, Katie's story has been one that fans have connected with emotionally. Her openness about her blended family, her strong relationship with her adoptive parents, and her personal struggles made her one of the more relatable and grounded personalities in the often high-drama world of RHOC. But Katie recently took things to another level with a deeply personal update about her biological mother, a story she had long kept close to her chest. A childhood mystery. Katie's adoption story has always been a key part of her narrative on the show, but up until now, she had kept details about her biological mother vague. She often spoke highly of her adoptive parents, crediting them with giving her a loving and supportive home, but rarely ventured into discussing her birth family. This wasn't out of lack of curiosity on Katie's part. Quite the opposite. Throughout her life, Katie had quietly been searching for answers about her biological mother, but the journey had been fraught with dead ends, confusion, and disappointment. Katie's adoptive parents, John and Susan Ginella, adopted her when she was just a baby. They had always been open with her about her adoption and encouraged her to ask questions if she ever felt ready to learn more about her biological roots. However, as a child and even into her adulthood, Katie had felt conflicted about pursuing the matter. While she was grateful for the family she had, a part of her always wondered about the woman who had given birth to her. Why had she given her up? What circumstances had led to her adoption? These questions lingered in the back of her mind for years. It wasn't until recently, after much soul-searching, that Katie decided to take the plunge and actively search for her birth mother. The search begins. Katie began her search in a way that many adoptees do, by reaching out to adoption agencies and requesting access to any available records. As with many closed adoptions from earlier decades, there wasn't much information available to her. The records were scant, and the agencies she contacted could only offer minimal guidance. Determined, Katie then turned to DNA testing. With the rise of services like 23andMe and Ancestry DNA, many people have found long-lost relatives through genetic connections. For Katie, the results of her test were bittersweet. While she discovered distant cousins and potential family connections, no direct links to her biological mother surfaced right away. Still, the results gave her a sense of hope. There were names, faces, and connections that hadn't existed before. She began reaching out to some of these newfound relatives in the hopes that they might provide clues to her birth mother's identity. The shocking discovery. Months passed, and just as Katie was beginning to feel disheartened by the lack of progress, a breakthrough came. Through a second cousin she had connected with on one of the DNA platforms, Katie learned of a woman who matched the limited details she had about her biological mother. This woman, named Emily, had lived in the same area where Katie was born and had given birth around the same time. With this new information in hand, Katie reached out cautiously. Emily, now in her late 50s, had no idea that Katie had been searching for her. After a few tentative emails, the two agreed to meet in person. The meeting, which took place off camera, was emotional for both women. Emily confirmed that she had indeed given birth to a baby girl nearly 30 years ago. She had been a young single mother at the time, struggling with financial hardships and personal challenges. Faced with the daunting task of raising a child on her own, Emily had made the heart-wrenching decision to give Katie up for adoption. Katie was overwhelmed with emotions as she listened to Emily's story. While she had always suspected that her birth mother's decision to give her up had been difficult, hearing it firsthand added a new layer of understanding and empathy. The two women spoke for hours, sharing stories, tears, and eventually hugs. For Katie, it was a moment of closure she had never expected. Emily's struggles and redemption. During their conversation, Emily opened up about the years following Katie's birth. She had struggled with guilt and grief over her decision, often wondering what had become of the daughter she had given up. Her life had been difficult in many ways, marked by personal setbacks and emotional turmoil. But in recent years, Emily had found a sense of peace and stability. She had remarried, had 2 other children, and was living a quiet life far removed from the world of reality TV. Emily told Katie that she had always hoped to find her again, but she hadn't known where to start. She had been afraid that reaching out might disrupt Katie's life or cause pain. Hearing that Katie had been searching for her all these years was both shocking and heartwarming. For Katie, the reunion brought a mix of emotions. She was grateful to finally have answers, but it was also difficult to process the complexity of her birth mother's life. Emily's story was one of hardship, but also of resilience and redemption. It wasn't the fairy tale reunion some adoptees hoped for, but it was real, raw, and honest. Moving forward. Following the reunion, Katie took time to reflect on everything she had learned. In a heartfelt confession to her fellow RHOC castmates, she opened up about the experience on camera for the first time. With tears in her eyes, she spoke about the profound impact meeting her birth mother had on her. "It's a part of my life I didn't even realize I needed to heal from," Katie said. "But now that I've met Emily, I feel like a part of me has come full circle." The revelation sparked a lot of discussion among the other housewives, many of whom have had their own personal struggles and family issues. Katie's story resonated with them, and several expressed admiration for her bravery in sharing such a deeply personal part of her life.